I'm hoping this is actually showing correctly. I'm shooting in landscape mode today because I have a new setup going on right now, and I can show you guys in a few minutes. I want to make sure that it's actually in landscape mode. All right, that's so exciting. And we are live in the group. Wonderful. Okay. So this is how things go when we get new toys. I have a new lighting setup because I think every week I complain about how I can't get decent lighting because I live in a house with like 4.5 windows that are like this big, and it's always gray apparently on video day. So I finally bit the bullet, and instead of digging out all of these lights that I normally use for like recording videos, I bought myself a ring light that has the like mount in the center of the ring for my cell phone so that I can't complain about bad lighting anymore. So hurrah, hurrah. Okay, so hello guys. I see that we have some people that are here. Do me a favor, let me know that you are here. I want to see if I can see comments while I have this whole thing set up in landscape mode. That would be hugely helpful. If you could just let me know that you're here, or pop an emoji in the comments. And if I can't see them on my phone, then I'll just check them out on my laptop since I've got everything like set in front of me right now. All right, so I'm just gonna jump right in. We're gonna jump in. We're gonna do this. So today we are talking about overcoming challenges because this week the theme is Bring It On, which is like kind of my slogan for every year. Hi, Kirsten. How are you? Hey. Oh, yay. Okay, I can see the comments with it in landscape mode. Sweet. So, Kirsten, since you just hopped on, I don't know if you saw my little spiel in the beginning. I have a new setup that I am trying right now. And I wasn't sure if I could see comments in landscape mode because I sometimes see people who are like, oh, I can't see my comments on my phone. So I was making sure that it wasn't landscape mode doing it, but it's not. Awesome. All right, guys. So since I know it's working, I'm going to jump in. If you are new to the group or this is the first time we are meeting, my name is Erin Sheevish. I am one of the co-founders of the Creatives Nest, and I'm also a certified creative business coach. And I absolutely love it. I love what I do. But we're not talking about me today. We are talking about overcoming challenges because we're in week 2 of 2017 already. Like, how did this happen? I think that the first week kind of just went like this. Like, I blinked and then it was gone and it was over. And that's completely against everything that I said I was going to do because I said I was going to ease into 2017. I lied. 2017 went off with a bang. It was just amazing. It's been amazing. But last week we talked about letting go of things. The theme for the week was letting go. We were letting go of negativity, things in our life that weren't serving us. And to kind of balance that out, we're talking about bring it on. We're going to be tackling new things because that is what the beginning of the year is all about, right? We're all still in resolution and goal implementation mode, right? I still am a little bit. I'm still doing it. I haven't burned out on anything yet except working out. And that's because I did that thing where I overdid it all at once. And now I'm sore and I'm tired and wishing I hadn't done that. So the thread this week was super, super active, and I'm really excited about everything that you guys had to say. So if anybody commented and they're here, I would love to see, I would love permission to like read your stuff out loud. Hi, Lindsay, how are you? I'm so glad to see you here live. So a lot of people are tackling some really big things for themselves. And I loved reading about it in this week's thread. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, be sure to like pop over into the group, take a look at it. We've got some big things happening. People talking about becoming more engaging with their business, which is huge. I love that. That's a great thing to bring on in 2017. Staying super on top of finances. That's me. Because I'm one of these people that I'm very impulsive about my purchases. Hence the new ring light. Time management and consistency, all big things, okay? Lots of great things to bring on. But the reason that I wanted to do this theme in particular this week, it wasn't just to balance out the like, we're letting go of negativity and bringing on positivity, but it's also to acknowledge the truth about challenges and about the new things that we bring into our lives. So many times you will hear this phrase, if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. I think I've even said this before. Like, if it doesn't feel good, if it feels icky, you shouldn't be doing it, back out of it. I'm going to go back on this statement a little bit, because the truth is that, and this is something that I'm realizing more and more every day, that in order to grow, you have to step out of your comfort zone. And sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone does not feel good. Okay, sometimes you have to be uncomfortable with your challenges. So we're going to use the example. I'm going back and forth between windows here. We'll use becoming more engaging with your business. For someone that is not super engaged, like with their fan base or their clients, because maybe they're introverted or they're shy, or they just feel like they don't know what to say, or they're suffering from a case of imposter syndrome, which we all have every so often, that's going to be really uncomfortable to step into that role. I'm distracted by how awesome you look with that ring light. Thanks. I'm pretty excited about it. My skin looks so youthful right now. You wouldn't think that I have 3 children that don't let me sleep ever. Anyway, stepping out of that comfort zone and into engaging with people can be uncomfortable. It can feel wrong. Okay? Same with me jumping into working out again. I made the decision that I wanted to be more physically fit because I've spent a lot of time kind of succumbing to my own, not laziness, but fear of hurting because I have an autoimmune disease. And this year I said I'm going to do it right. I'm going to jump into working out. And those first few days and even today, like, I'm sore and I'm kind of like, why did I do that? But I know that it was for the best. And that's really what brought this on today. Like, I had a completely different direction I was going to take this in, but this is the honest to God truth about being challenged. These things that you're bringing into your life, these things that you're going to say, bring it on to, they are challenges, and you're saying bring it on because they're not always going to be like super easy to implement. It's not always going to be super easy to implement things. Whether it's about your business or your personal life, it's going to be a challenge, and challenges are uncomfortable. So if you've ever said, well, Erin told me not to do something that doesn't feel good, I take it back. I apologize. If it doesn't jive with your values, if it doesn't jive with your morals, or it feels like it's a move that doesn't have integrity to it or something like that, if it doesn't feel good like that, yeah, maybe you should reconsider. But if it doesn't feel good because it feels too hard and it feels like you can't overcome, these obstacles, keep at it, okay? So that's like the big, huge point of my day right now, is that you're going to be uncomfortable. And if you're not uncomfortable, it is highly possible that you're not stretching enough. And sometimes you have to go ahead and make that intentional move to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation so that you can continue to grow as a person, as a wife, as a mother, as a student, as a business owner, whatever it is you are doing in your life right now. This is not simply for entrepreneurs or creative business owners or whatever it is that you're doing right now. This applies to everything. Everything. Growth requires stretching. And stretching can sometimes be uncomfortable, and that's okay. Now, in order to balance that out and make it where you're not like miserable with it, because you shouldn't be miserable with what you're doing. I mean, unless it's working out, I'm miserable with working out right now. But you shouldn't be completely miserable with what you're doing, the challenges that you're facing. And if you are, you're tackling it all wrong. And that's why I want to talk a little bit more about tackling these challenges. So, number 1, you have to remove that mindset that, oh, it's a goal of mine and so did it and so knows how to do it. All these other people are doing it, so it's going to be just easy for me. Acknowledge right from the get-go that it is a goal and it is a challenge and that it is going to be a challenge and that you are going to have to work for it. If you are doing that, if you acknowledge that it's a challenge, then you are prepared to take it on. If you act like it's going to be easy just because it appears like someone else is doing it super easily, it's going to be a real shock to you when something doesn't implement super easily for you. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to use myself for this example because I can speak for myself pretty well on these sorts of things. So this whole workout thing that I'm doing, I decided to tackle this workout system because the person that kind of introduced it to me was like, oh, well, I had all of these physical issues and blah, 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 and they relate to this, and it's a lot like what you have. It's a lot like what you deal with, and I was able to do this with no problem. So I went into this thinking like, oh, well, it's gonna be a breeze. Maybe I shouldn't even start with the beginner videos because it's gonna be so easy for me. So I didn't start with the beginner. I didn't start because I went in with that mindset. I went in with that mindset because this is something that you will do over and over and over again. You have to remind yourself of this. This is why we're talking about it. Did the like the second step, okay? Because I thought for sure if this person, if it was super easy for them and they have all these same like similar physical issues, then it was going to be just as easy for me. And I wasn't going to need that like stepping stool to get there. And what I did was that first day I was like, I give up. I'm done. I can't do this. This is awful. I hate this. And it really wasn't because I couldn't do it. It's because I'm different than her. And I didn't see the lead up to to her getting to the point of being able to do these workouts. So I stepped back and said, okay, it's okay. This is going to be hard. It's going to be a challenge. So let's start from the beginning. And I did. I started from the beginning and it still was uncomfortable, but it wasn't as bad. And I recognized that I'm at a different point. And that's okay. So the challenges or the goals that you have for yourself this year, if they feel like a stretch, if they feel like, well, it seems so easy for that person to get 10,000 followers, but I can't seem to get that amount of traffic to my site, I should just give up. Please remove that line of thinking. Just get rid of that mindset because everything is not always what it seems, Your journey is going to be different than another person's journey. And if it feels like it's too hard for you because somebody else is like exhibiting it in an easier way, that doesn't mean that what you're doing is wrong. It just means that it's a different situation. It's a different path. That is okay. So acknowledge that it's a challenge. Don't go into it thinking like, this is going to be a cakewalk. I can do this. It's a cakewalk. Don't do that. Okay. That sets yourself up for, if not failure, a discouraged mindset. And nobody wants that. Hi, Melissa. You can't watch right now up to your neck and grading. Your goal is to finish grading in 30 minutes. Girlfriend, you are amazing. Melissa is a teacher, and she's just wonderful. I'm just always in awe of everything that she does. So, yes, definitely pop back in later if you can, Melissa, because I would love to hear your thoughts on acknowledging challenges and how you deal with them. Because as a teacher, I assume you have your own set of challenges given that you work with children. So I can't imagine doing that. I couldn't do it. So, yes, if you're comfortable, you might not be stretching enough. And sometimes your challenges don't feel good right away, and that's okay. And acknowledge that things are challenges. Give it a name. Put it in its place. It's a challenge. It's okay, but you are an overcomer, okay? If you're an entrepreneur, I'm telling you right now, if you're an entrepreneur, you are an overcomer, regardless of what you think. But if you're pursuing a creative business or you're pursuing any sort of growth, if you're anybody, you're an overcomer. I don't ever want you to feel like you can't overcome these challenges. But finally, here's the real key to overcoming these challenges. The real key to tackling them, beyond just like looking it in the eye and saying, bring it, is to break this stuff down into baby steps. Break these challenges down into baby steps. And I know I talked about this a little bit at the end of December. We talked about intentional goal setting and how you need to break these goals down into these little tiny action steps. This is true for everything, okay? Any sort of challenge that you are working towards, you need to break down into baby steps. For one of the people that I work with, and I do have permission to share the story, she has a severe social anxiety disorder, okay? How many of you can relate to that? Because I'm raising my hand right here. She wants to be more active with people. She wants to start being more personable, more sociable. She wants to attend, events and stuff without putting herself into an instant panic attack. Now, we're working gradually towards this. We're talking about this, and I'm not the only one helping her because I'm a coach, not, that's not my area, but I'm talking to her while she's dealing with it otherwise. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend to her to, oh, well, you're trying to overcome, so let's just dive into it. You're going to go to a club, go to a club and hang out with 1,000 people and introduce yourself. No. We don't do that. Instead, we baby step, you know? So for her, I know that her first step was, going to a library and walking up to the counter just to talk to someone rather than using the automated system that they have in the library. Another step will be later going into a coffee shop and sitting down and having coffee and, being okay with the people being around her. It's baby steps. Baby steps for everything. If you're working out, if your challenge this year, your goal this year is to become more physically fit, you're not necessarily going to start, you're not going to go beast mode in a gym on day one. No, you're going to start easy. You're going to start slow. If you're a business owner and you're looking to become more of an infopreneur, or you're going to launch new products, you're not going to do it all at once. You're going to do little steps to get there along the way. That's how we deal with challenges. When we look at a challenge on its own, it feels big and overwhelming and scary, right? And that's why we have to get in its face and say, bring it on. But when you break it down into what it really is, into these little action steps, it's so much more manageable. So much more manageable. So for everything that you do, everything that you're working towards, whether it's for your personal life or for your business or for school or within your relationships, break these things down into small steps so that you are not faced with that overwhelming big picture end result. Okay? Those baby steps will all add up to that big picture end result. But we can't focus on just that, because if you focus on just that, you end up overwhelmed, you end up burnout, you end up discouraged, and then you back down. And you guys are not people that back down. I'm telling you this. You are overcomers of all challenges, regardless of the situation, okay? So that's my bit on challenges. I see we've got a couple of people left. Do you guys have any opinions on that? I would love to hear a little bit from you. I know I kind of went all preachy there because I get preachy when I talk about challenges, just because I feel like we have so many people telling us what we should do and what we need to be doing that we end up overwhelming ourselves and making ourselves miserable. And that's just like the worst. That's the worst feeling when you're trying to be an overcomer, when you're trying to reach goals and challenge yourself and continue to grow, is having all the noise constantly in your ear telling you what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. So I'm going to wait for a second here before I leave you alone for the afternoon. And check out my hair. Oh my goodness. It's like Hot Mess Hair Day, which is actually Monday. Didn't I dub Monday like Hot Mess Monday or something? I don't remember. I think I did. All right, guys. So if you have anything you would like to add to this conversation, I would love to hear from you. You can leave me a comment and I will be watching, because I think it's important for us to really, before we really do anything else this year, it's really important for us to put these challenges in their place, to acknowledge that they are challenges and to just own them, to be overcomers. And next week, we're going to dive into something a little bit different. We're going to change gears a little bit, and I'm not going to give it away. I was really excited, and I almost told you, but I'm not going to tell you. You will have to stick around and see what the theme is next Monday. So, all right, guys, have an awesome, amazing, super wonderful Tuesday. Be productive, get work done, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.